So, welcome to Chats with Sweetie. There's no song
Quite yet.
There's no opening song from me. How about this? There's no opening song from us right now. Welcome to our
stay
podcast,
tuned.
Sweetie. Yeah, but stay tuned. Exactly. Welcome to our podcast, Chats with Sweetie, where my wife just roasts me and tells embarrassing stories about me. With me, I got my beautiful wife, beautiful Belen. How you doing, Sweetie?
I'm okay.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you very much for asking. And, we have a lot to do. And one of those things is moving. How's that going? Because we're supposed to be out by when?
We're supposed to be out by Thursday. For reference, it's Friday the 29th.
Yeah.
And we have to be out next Thursday, which is February 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my feelings.
About leaving the state of California?
Well, I've cried like 5 times between last night and this morning. So I'm struggling.
Okay.
I'm excited. But it's happening all so fast. And it's like we've known all of this, but I guess it just comes to a halt, right? And you're like, this is the countdown.
I guess. What,
well, you're in your own world.
What are you living? I mean, what is it that
Where
you're
am I?
living? No. What are you living? Like, where is this stress or hit of emotions or whatever it is that you're experiencing is? Because I am definitely not experiencing that.
No, but you're also, we're just so different, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Last night I woke up at 11 and I was like, holy shit. There's so much to do, first of all.
Yeah.
And then there is so much unknown, which obviously, I don't do well with. And now people know because I'm so type A. So having to release, I guess, in a sense, the control part and kind of go with the flow is like really killing me softly. So I think that is what's really kind of making me feel very anxious and have no control.
Yeah. Because last night you woke up, we went to bed like at 9:30.
I did. I was really tired.
Well, you did, and I did too.
I know. I noticed.
I was so tired. I went to bed early, and then like at 11,
You peed.
I went to take a piss, and you were like, I don't know, when I moved or when I opened my eyes, you were like, are you awake or something?
No, I said, can I please have some melatonin?
Oh, yeah. So I gave her the melatonin. I gave you the melatonin, and then you started like,
I wanted to chat.
Yeah, you wanted to talk to me. And I was already on melatonin. I was already fucking passed out.
You weren't being supportive. You're like, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm having a panic attack. So hopefully my melatonin kicks in.
What would you do, Sergio?
Sergio would obviously talk.
If you were in my situation, you got woken up in the middle of the night.
You woke up.
Well, you woke up, but you want to go back to sleep because you smoked some weed, then you took some melatonin pills with CBD by 7, by the way. Check it out, cbdby7.com. I took some melatonin pills, which put me to sleep deliciously. So I was already like a little...
I already know what Sergio's going to say. Sergio's going to say he would have talked to his girlfriend if she was being anxious.
This honestly happened last night, to be honest.
Exactly.
So what, you guys are probably going to get into it, but last night, at least I found out that I was going to have 3 day less, 3 out of the 5 days that I thought I was going to have to pack gone.
Yeah.
So I was a little stressed. And I was like, man, there's only so much I can get done tonight. I ended up just going outside smoking a little bit, got in bed, was nice and cozy. And then I get a call from my girlfriend. She's all crying about me leaving, all sad. And I was like,
you were high?
Oh, no, this is not a good combination.
Hang on. I want to
talk. I want to talk. And I tried my best, but I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to be, I'm currently a little, I call it loosey-goosey. Whenever I'm
I like that term. I'm going to start
drunk or
using
high.
it. Yeah.
I'm with her. And I was like, I'm doing my best to be supportive right now, but I can only give so much.
Well, I was
He goes, what are you anxious about? Just know there's nothing you can do about it right now. So sleep.
That's exactly it, by the way, right?
There's some truth to it. Not necessarily what you want to hear.
But you took the same approach to it.
No,
I try to be supportive and
No, hang on.
He just said that.
Hang on. For yourself, my friend.
Yeah.
You took the same approach that I take because you said, I have so much shit to do. I have 3 days less, but there's nothing I can do. I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's a big point, sweetie. That's all I was saying. Because
right, but what you didn't understand was I wasn't feeling like I had to go do my to-do list. I was struggling in the sense that I was feeling overwhelmed by but by the fact that we're not leaving LA in 5 days, but that we're leaving our current home in 5 days. And I was getting really emotional.
Yeah. Which I understand. And again, I am sorry about not.
Yeah, we both want to kill you right now.
No.
Yeah, we both want to kill you right now.
No. This is not my fault. This is not my fault at all. I'm sorry. I'm relaxed and I live this life the way I live my life. But I think you all should live life like me.
I want to live life like
Right,
you.
but we also have to be realistic and responsible with all the shit that has to get done too.
I still get a lot of shit done. Don't act like I'm just sitting at home staring at the stars.
No one's saying that.
No, but you're recording videos that then add on to my limited time frame of things to get done.
People are the ones putting the pressure on you, Sergio. If I could, I wouldn't make another video. But these people are like, come on, man, we need more videos. What do you want
I'll
me
take
to
it
do?
up with the people.
Please, take it up with the people.
Please comment below.
So, you woke up in the middle of the night, and then did you go back to sleep or?
Not really. I tossed and turned and just prayed that the melatonin would kick in.
And just thought about that all night?
Kind of.
Yeah, I see. So for anyone watching, my recommendation, I used to be like Belen. I really was. I was a disaster. I was an anxious motherfucker.
Thanks.
When I was a kid, I had it so rough. My stomach was on fire every day, and I would throw up, and anything would make me sick.
My stomach's on fire right now.
I couldn't sleep. Yeah, but see, you got to work on that shit so that it doesn't happen to you anymore. And you have to realize what's going to happen is going to happen, and there's nothing you can do except fix it.
Right, but you also have to just understand from let's take the moving aspect, like the stressful, all that I'm leaving California.
Yeah, no, I understand it. I'm also leaving California. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, but you don't have attachments.
Why?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm feeling like emotional, my parents, my friends, and you're like, meh, this is exciting. We're just different in that sense. And that's so great that you don't have that attachment, but I do. And I'm already like anxious and emotional as a person. So I'm feeling everything mega and heightened right now.
Yeah, of course.
And that's like has nothing to do with like the move or the responsibilities or this. That's just like human side.
Yeah. When I moved to New York, with Rod, by the way, everybody listening, everybody thinks that my life is so calculated, right? Like, what did you do when you were a kid to be where you at right now? I just walked through life, my friends. That's what I did.
You just what?
I walked through life. In a way, this whole thing of whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and I'm just going to try my best it's always been my motto because I had no choice at some point in my life. So that had to be it. But when I went to New York, I had that because when I went to New York, I had never moved from where I lived. I went to the same school all the time. I had the same 5 friends all the time. I knew the same teachers all the time. I mean, nothing ever changed. Nothing. Mm-hmm. And literally when I went to New York, nobody could believe that I was leaving Mexico. Right. Not even Mexico, just like my circle. They were like, how the fuck is this guy going to do it? There's no way. And I went to New York and I moved there. That happened like this. I went to see Rod and I was with him. We were watching TV and out of nowhere, he gets all serious and he goes, by the way, I have to tell you something super serious.
He doesn't talk like that.
But he gets all serious. The one thing about Rod, and I love him, but every time he talks to me, I feel like here comes the bad news.
He's very analytical.
He is. So he makes a face first that he's about to give you some news, whether it's good or bad. It looks like bad news, at least to me. That's the way I read him. And I was like, oh my God, here comes some really bad news. And Rod goes, look, I'm going to move to New York. I got accepted into grade school. And I think that's what's going to be the best for me. What are you going to do? And I go, I'll fucking go with you. I have nothing else to do. I didn't want to go to school. I had already made some money. And I thought like, oh, I can live with this for the rest of my life. No, that's big spoiler alert. That was not true. Dumb Alejandro as a kid. And I moved to New York with Rod and I didn't think of anything. I was like, I'm not thinking about leaving my friends, my quote unquote family, like nothing, right? And when I got to New York, I couldn't sleep at all. Like there would be days, like full days where let's say it's Monday right now in the morning, right? I woke up Monday morning. I wouldn't sleep until Wednesday night or Thursday morning.
It's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And I didn't know what the fuck it was.
Keeping you up.
Yeah. So I was like, at least that I know of, I'm not worried about anything. Like, what could I be worried about right now, right? Like, according to me, I had all my life savings in my account. I had him with me. I had my best friend with me.
Life was good.
I don't know what I'm missing. Yeah, all of my friends in Mexico didn't call me and they were all like, stop playing around, just go back to Mexico. What are you going to be, a fucking loser? In New York, in Mexico, at least you can work. I was like, well, thank you guys for your support. And 2 weeks after not sleeping, I did a Britney Spears. I pulled a Britney Spears. Did I tell you that?
You buzzed your hair.
I buzzed my hair at night for the first time in my life. And let me tell you something. I fucked up many times while buzzing my hair.
I'm sure.
The next morning, because Rod didn't see me, he went to school the next morning. I had to go meet him somewhere. And I was wearing my hoodie and it was really hot. And Rod's like, what are you doing? I was like, I cut my own hair, man. He goes, why?
And by the way, this is pre-Britney's meltdown.
Yeah, Britney can suck my balls.
Because Britney had her meltdown like...
I'm the one who made it trendy. Yeah, in 2007.
Yeah.
Some around.
Yeah.
So I did it first, Brit.
If you ever meet her.
So I've met her before. We've seen her at Soho House a million times.
Well, if you ever have something to tell her.
I don't think I'm going to have to talk to her ever.
You can just tell her that.
So I saw Rod like that and he goes, why the fuck did you cut your hair like that? I was like, I don't know, man. I couldn't sleep and I just felt like he was right. And I didn't think of it much. And then after 3 more days that I couldn't sleep, I go, I think I'm having a problem. I don't know what it is because he doesn't feel at all like I have a problem. But when he comes down to like, I need to go to sleep, I'm a mess. Like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on. So I grabbed a notepad and I just wrote, whatever comes to your mind that worries you, write it down. And then also I set up another line for any problems that I had to solve immediately. Like, what problems do I have? Mm-hmm. And I wrote everything down, everything that was in my head. And then I started thinking, all right, so my first problem, I'm not seeing my friends every day. Okay, but you can call them, that's this and that. And I started justifying everything, and not justifying, but understanding everything, that there's nothing that I could do to fix that. Mm-hmm. And again, I was not feeling like, oh my God, I'm leaving, I'm this. But I guess something inside of me.
Obviously, somewhere subconsciously you were feeling that way.
Clearly.
Which is, by the way, completely normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying it's normal, but if you can work on it. And
of course, but it's normal to feel happy, sad, excited, fear.
I've always said that.
That with excitement, fear comes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whether it's good or bad, but you go through all the emotions, because if you're having no emotions, then there's something also wrong with you. Like you need to go through all those things.
You're a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you could work on becoming stronger in that sense, where you're quicker and more able and capable of responding to whatever's happening in your life and with your brain that's not letting you be, to be able to make that go away. Wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, I would never buzz my hair either. I'm too vain.
Yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. Of course I understand what you're saying. And of course, I strive to do this all the time. But last night, I am a fucking human.
Yeah.
And today I'm in my feelings.
Yeah, I understand, sweetie. All I'm saying is this is what I do to not be on my feelings all day. And when it's like time for any change, whatever, this is just,
and by the way,
this is how I deal with it. This is how I help myself.
No,
and the only
it's
reason
fantastic.
why I'm sharing it, it's not to be like, ha, I can't believe you can't fucking do this. It's so you can start doing it and addressing those things and see, maybe this is not going to work, but something else will, but it's not the way you eat. It's not, it's not like whatever creams you put on. It's not, it is
Trust
something.
me, I know it's not the creams.
It is something that's in your head.
Of course it's chemical. Absolutely. It's something in my brain. I know that. But again, that's a fantastic idea. And I'm super open to change. I've lived in other places too. It's just, everything's just coming to a halt. And it's just like, whoa, it's happening in 5 days.
Yeah.
That's it. And again, like kind of also not what I just said, not having a lot planned out as far as us, like once we get there, that is a whole other beast for me too. That is something that I do want to get better about, the control issue, as I've expressed to you many times, that I don't like being so rigid and uptight. But a part of me also has to be that way because you're also a little too relaxed. So it's like, I got to find that happy medium for myself and for us.
I think it's also then a little lack of trust on your end on me. It sounds like it.
100%.
Which is great. But you also have to know, I've made movies. I put entire companies together in 3 months. I've done productions that no one thinks can be done in 2 seconds and coordinating everyone. That's my job. Doing everything. And I can.
I'm just very sensitive.
I understand.
And I'm
sweetie.
sensitive to like Fiona and Tata and the turtles. Like I'm thinking about everyone and you and Sergio. And it's like that's like my like caretaker part, right? Which we talked about last week. So I'm like, I want everyone to be comfortable. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to feel stable. So it's like there's so many like elements for me.
Yeah, which I totally understand. And I'm the same way. I mean, but I'm doing everything I can for them to have a great time, right? And for them to be chill and for them not to stress. I mean, fuck, we're getting a private plane just to fucking fly them. Like this squirrel, it's gonna be the first squirrel in the world to fly on a private plane. It has to be, right?
It's gonna be a disaster.
I mean, everything will be taken care of. It's like going to a hotel for like 2 months.
Again, no one's being ungrateful. No one's being
I'm not saying
like it's just
I'm not saying that. I just want to get you out of
it's
that.
a lot.
Yeah,
And
of course.
because I'm already a little bit unstable day to day, it just really hit me last night and today. So I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to let myself be because I'm allowed to feel
Of course.
my feelings.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of roll with the punches. And like Sergio, we were texting last night and he was like, it's going to be one hell of a month. And I'm like, we just got to buckle up.
Yeah.
And I'm excited too. There's also that side of me that's looking forward to the adventure. And for once in literally my entire life, an adult life, not having a plan.
Yeah. It's really nice.
I mean, it's not, but I'm really going to try and enjoy the process of it. Sergio's like me. Like we're very
you guys are fucking crazy. There's nothing nicer in this world than not having a plan, than not like knowing what you're going to do the next day is boring as fuck. Like waking up in the morning and just being like, all right, you know what I feel like doing? This is what I want to do.
See,
if you have the ability to within your work, awesome, dude, and your life, that's the way to live.
However, I'm somebody who thrives off routine and structure. I do better. I'm a better person. So I still have to have a routine in these upcoming weeks, no matter what, because that for me and my mental health, it's very important.
Yeah, we're planners. I think we're both wired the same, where it's just like, for me at least, I get more peace from knowing what we're doing. And I was always on the route of like being okay with the last minute stuff because it used to only affect me. Now that I have someone also kind of involved in my life, it's like, dang, I have to also think about the people around me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which just adds to the stress. But I can see where you're coming from. But also for me, in general, I love knowing plans.
What's next?
I'm a big planner, yeah.
Yeah, me too. And again, I like the routine of simplicity, even a simple routine in the morning, like my coffee and my celery juice. Like I'm a happier person. I'm more balanced.
Yeah,
Different personality types.
But of
It's
course.
not that it's wrong. I think it's just the way we're wired.
No.
Yeah.
We all are wired differently, of course, but we should all, and this is just my anthem, dude, because I feel like I've lived it. I just want to get as better as I can on every single thing that stresses me, bothers me, annoys me, makes me want to cry. Because you can just work on yourself like that, you know? And to me, it was not like I was never a planner. When I was younger, I was a mega planner. I was obsessed with it. And this is why I was also so anxious. I hated not knowing like how long it would take on a car ride to get somewhere. Like I was at that level of where the fuck are we? What's going on? And I had
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I started making movies, I was at first like that. Like, oh my God, these guys are 2 minutes late. What if? But everything that can go wrong in my life goes wrong. Right? And I want to say in pretty much all of our lives, that's what happens. And once you accept that, and you're just going to have to fix the wrongs, you can eliminate yourself from becoming the worried person that you are, the planner that you are, just knowing like tomorrow, this is what I'm going to try. And tomorrow, this is what I'm going to try to do. And this is what I want for my wife. This is what I want for my girlfriend. This is what I want for my friends, which it's perfectly fine to include them in that. But if anything goes wrong, and this was my problem that I had with Belen for so long, we would go somewhere and she would plan, let's go on a hike. Let's go on this. And she would have 39 things to do on a vacation.
My idea of a good vacation.
Which, whatever, let's say that's great. If we were late, if we didn't do one thing, if one thing was canceled, you would lose your shit. You were like, we came here to enjoy this. This is unacceptable that this is happening. That's not life. Life doesn't come at you like in a perfect fucking little presentation and goes, here you go, guys, enjoy your life. It comes in a messy fucking, you put your hand in and you feel weird things and then just go with it. That's how life comes. It's dirty, it's disgusting, it's a mess. But you're supposed to embrace that. And it's great to have structure, but it's even better to have structure knowing that things can go south and that you will be able to react to it no matter what happens. This is something I want to leave you guys with. Probably not my wife because she's looking at me like she wants to kill me. So let's talk about the remodeling budget, sweetie.
I was thinking, and I was going to make a joke actually.
Let me see.
And say, basically, you're used to it because you've always been swiped your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, actually, once we got married, I really started to get the swipe myself.
I don't think so. I think you've always gotten the swipe. Everybody gets the swipe, but they've never paid attention to it. And that's another thing. Like, we're not walking around actively living this life. We're all running. Like right now, there's a lot of people watching this shit. And I want to ask you, what do you want out of your life? And people right now are, yeah, because you've never fucking sat down for a second and said, all right, what is important to me? What do I want out of this life? Not even the basic thought of that structure, that simple structure, that's the base of who you are and everything that you'll do, they figure it out. You think they figure it out like most people, that life is always going to fuck you over? And that all you need to do is react towards it. It is what it is. Like I was telling the story yesterday online on YouTube where I had $27 million one day in my bank account and they disappeared. A lot of people, I don't want to say just a lot of people, but most people would still until today be on the floor crying about that and making it like such a big deal. And they would never be able to get over that. Like Julieta.
I knew you were going to say that.
Right?
What was the name of that movie?
Julieta. That was literally
it was,
the name
right?
of the
It's
movie.
a Pedro Almodovar film. It's so
Awful.
depressing. Don't
Awful.
watch it. Ugh.
Awful.
But it had a good message.
Yeah, you can't just be worried about something in your life that already happened. Just worry about what's going on right now. Enjoy it. That's the whole point.
I get it, but that doesn't
We
really...
are worried what's going on right now.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
that doesn't
then.
really apply to current... We're not worried about the past. We're worried about what the future is. Either way...
Either way, none of those two exist, by the
listen.
way. You can't take me to the future. You can't take me to the past.
Either way, let Sergio and I be the way we are at this moment. We're both...
It was like a stressful month.
Do you guys see what the problem is? You guys watching and you guys listening, do you guys see what the problem is?
Stop.
I'm Italian, babe. I need to put my hands like this. These guys don't want to change their stressed lives. They don't want to look at this and say like, okay, maybe I should try that. They want to keep being stressed for another month.
We're not saying that.
It's not that I'm necessarily stressed at like what is to come. It's more the idea that like there is a million things that need to get done
in the next
week.
Exactly.
And my current minds and my current planning side, I do not see how that's possible.
Exactly.
That's where my stress is coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's the deal. We just got to make it work, right?
And it will work out, but we also are, like I said from the get-go, I'm feeling my feelings today, and I'm going to write it out, and it's all going to be good. It's all going to work out.
Yeah.
Huh?
And on to the next one.
Maybe.
This is what I'm saying. So let's talk about some remodel budget, sweetie, because we hit some walls.
No pun intended.
So we're remodeling our new house in Austin. That's no secret. We made it public. This is what we're doing. And obviously, we don't have unlimited money. We're not as rich as everybody always fucking makes it.
We don't have $27 million in the bank.
We are lacking $27 million in our bank
Big
account
time.
right now. So whenever you buy a house, the best piece of advice I can give you is make sure that you know what everything is going to cost you and how much money you have available for everything.
Well, like the Property Brothers do.
And you forget about the Property Brothers. You set up like a real budget for yourself because you have to understand that moving, that renting the U-Haul, the gas, the hotels,
Everything.
it all adds up.
Oh my God.
You want to know exactly what your budget is up front. Then on parallel, whenever you're going into a new property, the first thing you want to do is go and legitimately go with a contractor and tell them all of your fucking sweet dreams.
All the bells and whistles.
Get all of the bells and whistles planned out. Like, think about this, that you had unlimited money for the future and plan your house. Why? Because you'll understand better when you're breaking down each area in your house, what's more...
better value for your
what's
buck.
more essential and what adds value to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that is really, really the key. We came in, We did a house tour. We
wanted marble everywhere.
We wanted marble everywhere. And then we saw the quote for the marble everywhere. We were like, oh boy. The first quote that we got was $450,000.
I looked at Alejandro and I was like, you're not getting your fucking marble in the bathroom. Yeah. This is being slashed immediately.
I was like,
it was more expensive than the kitchen, the marble for the bathroom.
But why do we need marble in the kitchen? Think about me in the shower, just all the water running through this perfect, amazing machine of a body that I have.
I guess all those push-ups.
Why are you laughing so much? And that's right. I have enough space to do push-ups in the bathroom.
Well, your push-ups are not going to pay for the marble, sweetie.
So let me ask you this, sweetie. After going through all the budget, because what happened the first time you saw the budget?
Well, I knew it was going to be obscene.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to vomit a little bit. But I was like, yo, this is insane. What? But then you were like, this is the bells and the whistles. This is the bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And I even told Alejandro, I was like, even if it was like we had $27 million cash, I wouldn't allocate money to certain things. Because like you said, once you see it in paper, you're like, oh, that's really stupid. That's stupid. We don't need that. We don't need this. But like Alejandro said, first of all, this was my first time ever doing this. And technically yours for a home. We were like, oh, we want this, we want that, let's do this, open this wall. Like we were going crazy because, like you said, it one is super informative. Two, if you do want to go down that route, eventually.
And by the way, you never know how much things cost. So even if you're thinking, my God, this might be crazy, it might be cheap.
Well, like the powder room is so inexpensive.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's going to be
$1 billion
for sure, super expensive.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
That's okay. So it's good to have it for the future, and also to go in phases, which I think is, first of all, the most realistic for 90% of people to do it in phases. And also I at least didn't really think about this. Maybe you did, but the more you do, the longer it's going to fucking take. So the longer you can't move into your home. So let's say we had the $27 million cash and we did all of this, we wouldn't move in till June.
Although the example is we have $27 million cash.
I'm just saying, like, let's say it was like unlimited. Let's go ham. We wouldn't move until June or July.
Yeah.
And we're not interested in that either. Like, we don't want to be in an Airbnb for forever. We want to be in our home.
And that brings me to my next point. Always find the right balance for what you want to achieve. If you want to move into your house already, don't give yourself a longer task that's going to take longer and it's going to keep you more miserable while it's getting done, because really it does build stress on people. We're seeing it right across from me, people. I don't give a shit about being in an Airbnb for 8 months. Like that's what Sergio and I basically did for a couple of years. So I'm good. But I understand to most people, that's a stressful situation, not being established in your home. And also, especially because we're going from one place to another that's so far.
Yeah. And then it's just added also, it's going into our budget.
Yeah, because you got to pay for the Airbnb or the house.
Yeah, I don't want to be in an Airbnb for 8 months. Absolutely not, because
I'm agreeing with you.
That's going into our budget that we've allocated to being in an Airbnb. So that, of course, that's an extra stress, because it's like if we have to add another 4 weeks, then that's a budget that we're taking out of potentially going into furniture or drapery or whatever. So for sure, stress it comes from that as well.
Well, yeah, I need you to be out of the Airbnb within 25 days so I can install my garage doors that I want to put in.
Exactly.
Because we're going to put in nice garage doors, don't we, Sergio? We want to have nice garage doors with beautiful lighting. So we're going to be homeless for a month. If you guys live in the Austin area, please holla at us. We'll stay in your house for free. For free, I promise you. We won't charge you anything. We'll... I'm sorry. You never know, babe. No. You never know. You know, you don't want to stay with strangers?
Believe it or not. Especially not in a pandemic.
Oh, all right. Well, fine. Well, if you believe the QAnon, we're going to your house. We're staying with you. The next thing within the budget. So we looked at everything. We made the video and we talked about everything that we wanted to do. What was really hard for you to get rid of? And what was easy for you to be like, oh man, we don't need this? What was the toughest? I want to ask you, what was the toughest thing that we had to cut out for you? I know, I feel the same way.
Nothing.
I wish it was more dramatic.
I think so. Honestly, nothing, because again, like we just said, I knew certain things were going to take so much longer. It was going to delay us from moving in. 1, 2. I feel like we didn't compromise anything. Do I have something in my teeth?
No, I'm scratching my nose.
And then he went like this. So I was like, you're just telling me now?
No, I'm scratching my nose.
I feel like we're not compromising anything that's really major for us. So nothing. What was easy to slash was the marble,
And the second floor.
the second floor, the deck, and at last minute we decided the master bedroom closet. And a big reason is because we were really rushed into picking out the finishings, and I've for a really long time dreamt of like our dream closet, and I want to like really take my time with it. And it was like this here, close this, let's make it black. And then I was like, I don't want a black closet.
And I also feel like it'll be really good for us to be in the house for a month, 2 months, and see how we use the closet, where we put our things, and then go, all right.
Completely.
That's a pro tip, by the way. Don't get the closet done before you move in. Figure out what exactly you want out of that space, because you can put your clothing elsewhere. You can figure some shit out.
Yeah, you can put like, so the closet, you guys will see the closets. Well, you have seen, if you watch the video, it's an interesting space.
Yeah.
And I also think, had we gone the route of building the closet, first of all, it wouldn't have been ready for weeks because they have to build all the cabinets, which takes like 12 weeks. So either way, it wasn't going to be done. I want to be smart with it because I don't want to have so much space, because I just don't want so much shit anymore, like clothing wise. So like you said, we can lay out the day-to-day stuff, and then coats or suits or dresses for like events and weddings can go separately.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't feel like we sacrificed anything. And I actually thought it was really fun because we were like, actually, we don't want marble there. Like, let's do a little bit more cleaner look. Listen, I'm obsessed with Kim Kardashian's house.
Oh, yeah. That, by the way, if you guys haven't had a chance to look at it, look it up.
Most people don't like it, actually, because it looks
very bare.
Yeah, it looks like a monarchy. I think a lot of people compare it to.
It looks like a castle, straight up.
No, the inside is very minimalist.
Yeah.
They have like no pictures. Everything is white. It's heaven. So we kind of started looking at different pictures, and I was like, why don't we just keep it more like simplicity, have some texture in the paint, like some Venetian plaster, and do everything lighter? Because I think had we gone way more of the darker side, like we were thinking, we would have regretted it later on.
Yeah. I mean, we had that house too, Laurel, which was a little dark.
It was, well, yeah, but it was dark wood. But I just think that this house has such gorgeous natural light that having lighter wood
will make it so much better.
Totally.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you. I think what we realized ourselves was there's a few things that were like, a little, I want this just because I wanted it, like luxuries, if you will.
Yeah.
Like completely insane luxuries, which I still want and will do like little by little, like the deck, for example.
Yeah.
I also like the idea because while we were doing the deck, I mean, come on, that was going to cost a good amount of money.
Yeah.
And we figured because we were going to move, we were going to get rid of the window in the middle, then we were going to do 2 doors. We didn't want to lose that much light. So we were planning on doing, let's do the doors and close the middle so we can put a TV. But Belen came in clutch, and she looked up a company that has the TV come down from the ceiling.
It's actually a projector.
Well, you can do both.
Yeah.
You can do the projector, or you can do a TV that comes from the ceiling. And those are pretty well-priced options. And the cool thing is, and that's something that I didn't think about before, we get to keep the whole window.
Totally, which is a huge focal point of the house.
Yeah.
And like the backyard is so relaxing and zen.
Yeah.
And I was obviously looking at Kim's bedroom.
Of course.
And
how can you not know?
they have by no means a similar setup, but they have, their TV comes from the floor up, but they have huge doors that go to their insane backyard. But I was like, we have these insane windows. Why are we going to remove it? I knew if we put in the wall with the fireplace, we were going to be sad that we didn't have as much light.
Yeah, and especially that view. Like
the view.
Yeah, I enjoy the shit out of views. Like in the morning.
And you want to see Tata out there. I know you do.
Oh, my little
you
monster.
do.
She absolutely. Why not?
So
Why
I
not?
think.
Can I tell you something before? I'm sorry to interrupt you. We found out by doing some research on Kim Kardashian's house that the TV coming from the floor is way more expensive than coming from the ceiling.
Way more expensive.
From the ceiling, by the way. So that's a little note for you guys if you're thinking about doing something like that. The ceiling ones are like around what we've seen, $5,000 to $8,000.
Yeah.
The ground is like 12, 15.
Yeah, and it's because
you have to break the concrete.
the concrete, exactly, and the wiring and all of that. So it's gonna, and when I think about it, it's probably just gonna look cleaner anyways, coming from the top, because you would see in the panels.
All you need to know, babe, is that I'll be every morning with my remote for the TV to come down and be like, and I'll Insta story every morning. Everybody should see that I have a fucking TV that comes from the ceiling, because I never in my life thought I'd have that.
It's super loud. Wakes up Belen every morning.
Oh my God.
It's just that, dude.
He's all, when it's getting installed, he's like, could you actually put in a sound that it's being like backed up?
I'm going to ask him if you don't mind, sweetie.
Oh, sweetie.
That was really key. Another one that surprised me how cheap it was compared to what I thought it was going to be is we're moving one of the bathrooms. We're making it way bigger.
The powder room. The main powder room on the floor, on the main floor.
On the main floor. For not fancy people like myself, I didn't know what the fuck a powder room is. It's the bathroom that everybody that's going to go into your house uses. And ours was small, and all of the rooms back there were really tiny. So I thought moving the sewage and all that stuff was going to be a crazy
sewage.
Well, the drains, the plumbing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be a pain in the ass, but no, these guys can do it super cheap.
It's very interesting when you see even the staircase.
Oh, that was also another one that was cheap.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. So we're doing all of the staircase. So, that's why it's good to get all of your numbers in, because you can also make better decisions knowing like, oh God, I have this much money to spend. I'm going to make some sacrifices here, but I'm going to stick to what I really need. And in those, a few items will surprise you about how cheap, how affordable it is to do, where you would think, man, this is going to be a fucking disaster. Yeah. Because I was going to tell you, man, let's fuck that bathroom. It's going to be like billions of dollars. And it was nothing.
No, it's so affordable that now we can actually change the plumbing, like the sink and the vanity.
The actual vanity to something more unique and put in different light fixtures, which, by the way, those are very easy things to do.
Switches, because you can literally get lighting off Amazon.
Yep.
It was also good because we had originally wanted to do hardwood floors. We're obviously doing it throughout the whole house, but we also wanted to do it upstairs. And then I was thinking the other night, I was like, why are we doing hardwood floors in the 3 guest rooms? There actually should be carpet, because when we lived at Bridal, and even this house, the only room that has hardwood floors is the master bedroom. And this is a pro tip. If you do carpet, you don't have to buy rugs.
Yeah.
So that also saves you money, and carpet's way less expensive than wood.
And way easier to install.
You can do we can probably do the whole upstairs for what, $2,000?
Something like that.
Give or take.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that was good, that we kind of were like, oh, we can cut corners here.
I always knew when we went upstairs and you were like, I went hardwood floors everywhere. I was like, but Bridal had, and that's the best house I've ever been in my life.
Well, yeah. For sure. But I think it's because the carpet's so ugly in the house, because it's dark and gray.
Well,
so
it's old. It's like a regular cheap carpet.
Your eye goes and you're like, this has to be out.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, well, we'll definitely do carpet upstairs, and it won't be as intense, and they don't have to break the ground.
What is the part in the house that you're the most excited about now?
I don't know. I'm really excited about the kitchen, but I can't wait to see the bathroom. The bedroom I'm excited about, but I also it's very simple what we're doing now. It's mainly the floors. Well,
and getting rid of that top thing.
Yeah, but actual...
And the Bollard TV and curtains.
Yeah, but I mean, the curtains are I'm not super excited about seeing curtains. I'm really excited to see the transformation of the kitchen and the master bathroom. Really? And the media room, I guess.
I think to me is the bathroom. No secret there.
100%.
The whole house with the floor.
Well, yeah.
And the paint, the painted house.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're painting the entire house.
So we're doing the exterior and the interior of the house.
Yeah.
Which that also, I was shocked at the price. I was like...
And I got to say, I'm also very excited about the kitchen.
we're excited about it all.
I can't wait. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm excited about it all. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it.
But no, I agree with you. I think when the floors go in, which is, by the way, is the last thing that's going in, so that we're going to have to wait the whole time.
Of course, because you don't want to fucking scratch those puppies.
So when we looked at the timeline, I was like, obviously having a mental breakdown about it. And I was like, why do the floors have to go in last? And you were like, because they can get scratched. And I was like, can't they put tarp? And he's like, no.
No, because if they drop a heavy machine or anything,
no, it makes sense.
It's going to cut into it, and then they're going to be responsible for it. They don't want to do that.
You know what else I'm really excited about?
What?
Them removing all the chandeliers.
Oh, yeah. That, and hang on. The new bathroom with a double toilet.
The urinal?
Well, no, we're getting a double toilet. You know that, right?
I know, but them removing the urinal.
They're removing the urinal. We're getting 2 toilets, people. That is really exciting. That, you know what? Never mind. Scratch everything. Double toilets. That's it for me.
We'll eventually put the door into and we'll have 2 separate.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, sweetie. And as we're getting closer and closer to leaving here, which, by the way, by the time this comes out, we're probably going to be in Texas.
No, it's not.
No? Did
This
you
is coming out on Monday.
No. This the one
Sunday.
that's coming out.
Oh, we won't be because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, that's right. That is really important. But let me ask you, sweetie, what will you miss the most about LA?
Well, I'm going to really miss Hidden Hills.
That's where we live, everyone.
I love our neighborhood.
It's not Calabasas, everyone. We live in Hidden Hills, okay? That's right. That's where Drake and those guys live. I'm sorry. I just had to say it like that. Yeah.
So I'm really going to miss our neighborhood.
Yeah.
All the horses.
I'm going to miss Drake a lot.
You never met him. Relax. Okay.
But I'm still going to miss him.
Okay. I'm going to miss our neighborhood and all like the horses and obviously our neighbors.
Yeah.
My best friend just moved there in August. So that's, massive bummer. I'm really going to miss Erewhon. And for those who don't know what Erewhon is, it's a grocery store. It's like Whole Foods on steroids. It's all like organic, healthy. So I'm really going to miss Erewhon.
You're lying. Last night when I was burping all the Erewhon food that was coming in, the smell of Erewhon came out from my mouth. You were like, ew.
Yeah.
And I was like, here, you're going to miss
disgusting.
Erewhon.
That has nothing to do with Erewhon.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I feel like subconsciously you're not going to miss him.
Okay.
I saw it with my burps.
Sure. Obviously it goes without saying that I'm going to miss my friends, but I don't really get to see my friends that much. Like the day-to-day stuff, what I'm really going to miss is, like I said, like walking in our neighborhood, Erewhon, and for sure, even though we take it for granted, like being able to go to Malibu.
Yeah.
I'm really going to miss that. I really want to miss being able to go to the beach and see the beach because I've lived in SoCal since I was a teenager. And then, of course, I'm going to like miss my parents.
Yeah.
Like the ability to get in my car and go see them.
Yeah.
Sure, I can get on a plane, but I'm really going to miss that.
That's it?
I mean, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
I was going to say the food, but not really because Austin has really good food. But I like I said, the neighborhood, the community we've made there, and just driving to Malibu.
Yeah, it took me so long to meet all the fucking neighbors and really becoming friends with them. And now I'm like, God damn it. I got to go now. Like, I've never made friends with the neighbors before.
Like we met really good people in Hidden Hills.
Yeah. Because all of the neighbors before, one of them was getting murdered because he was a drug lord. And then we had the crazy Russians on the first house that we ever bought.
We've had terrible neighbors.
By the way, these crazy Russians, this is the worst. This is the best part about like leaving, but also the worst part about finding a new spot because you never know how the neighbors are going to be. That first house we got, these crazy people, everybody was so interested because we went and bought, huge mistake, don't ever do it, the most expensive house in the block, which was not that expensive. It was like $1.3 million or some shit like that.
Croft.
Yeah. But it was the nicest house in the neighborhood. And and we went in and we put hedges so that no one could see inside. And I had a DVS at the time, an Aston Martin DVS. And everybody was so fucking curious about what we were doing all day that they were like complaining to the city, like, you need to trim your hedges.
They said that the hedges was stealing their oxygen. Was
blocking the air from their property.
Right.
The hedges were blocking the air from the property.
But it was affecting their oxygen.
Yeah. And then we also had hedges on their side because you don't want to see, like, honestly, the house next to us was, let's just say, a humongous piece of shit.
Well, there was one house that was nice, and then there was one house that was terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The one that we were covering.
Yeah.
And those guys were obsessed with, like, no, we need to be able to see what you were doing. So they would trim our hedges on the side. And
we didn't have any of that, though, in Hidden Hills.
No. And whenever we couldn't take it anymore, we were like, all right, we're leaving. Fuck you guys. We're out of here. And we never cut the hedges. Never. It was awesome. We just let them grow. They put a complaint with the city. And this is what you can do, by the way, if you guys get in this situation to piss off all of your neighbors. Everybody just again, this is not aesthetics because the house looked beautiful. They just wanted to see what the Mexican guy was doing inside his house. They wanted to see at all times, why am I getting in my car? Whatever the fuck I'm doing, they were interested in. And they were like, you all need to trim your hedges. They put a complaint with the city. With the city. And they made us trim our hedges, but they give you a final date where they're going to put you in jail if you don't trim them. We moved out
I don't think it was jail. It was a fine from the city.
It's a fine, but they take you. That's what they say. So we moved out exactly the day that the hedges needed to be trimmed. And what we did as a thank you to everyone, we just trimmed them like shit, like absolute garbage. We just cut them like that.
That was obviously all Alejandro.
Of course, because they can suck my balls. What the fuck do they need to look at? And they can enjoy that present, and I hope they enjoyed it for a few years. But they also were throwing bottles of vodka at our cars. Remember, in the backyard?
It was a weird
They
situation.
were wonderful. So now I'm looking forward to the new neighbors. Hopefully, well, you know what? There's so much distance between us.
I was just going to say that it's fine because there's so much distance between, this was West Hollywood. So every house is
was on top of each other, and everybody needed to know what you were doing. So I'm looking forward to.
So what are you going to miss?
Of LA?
Yeah.
Driving roads. Obviously, my friends from here, but I don't see them that much. I feel like with all the shit that we'll be doing here, we'll see them more than before.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about my friends.
Malibu.
Driving roads, I really like Malibu. I love Malibu, but now I think I'm getting the lake instead. So I'm not.
No, of course, but the ocean, it is.
Well, I understand your point. To me, I think the lake will make up for it a little bit more than that because I feel like I'll enjoy more the lake life.
You're ready for it.
I am lake curious now.
Oh boy.
I am lake curious for everybody asking and wondering. Other than that, the neighbors, my friends, which I'll see more, and obviously the driving roads in Malibu, nothing really. I mean, I've been pissed off at LA for 7 years now, right? Haven't I?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since this whole thing has been going to shit. Guys, owning properties is the worst thing in LA because we were the first ones to realize that this homeless problem that we've artificially created, we're not going to get into it, was spiraling out of control and there was nothing to be done. And it got to the point where it was unbearable to even own property because it was not worth the headache. Like the guy doing heroin inside of the fucking, Yeah. So for me, I am really looking forward to getting out of here. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Again, it's not that I'm not looking forward to it. It's just certain things that are comfort zones.
Of course. I understand.
But yeah, I think those are the main things that I'm going to miss. And I think, quarantine really, I'm speaking for myself, really helped me with this. Because I think if last year you would have been like, we're moving, I would have been like, I wouldn't be in the mental space. But being in quarantine, really adapting to the new normal and not seeing my friends. And by the way, it's not like I saw my friends every day anyways, but I've adapted so much to not being able to go have dinner with my friends and go to their house and do all these things. So a lot of it is a mental thing. And but if I want to see my parents, maybe it won't take me 2 hours to drive to go see them, but I can get on a plane and see them in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So exactly. I'm just saying those are the things that I'm going to miss. The convenience of those things.
Since you were saying about your parents that you're going to miss them and, you're going to see them whenever you get on a plane, I have a question for you. Do you really think that having supporting parents is good or bad for people in general? I'm not talking your situation in general. Obviously, I want to know more about you and how it developed because the way I see it is a lot of people that I know were supported by their parents and they were cuddled by their parents. And they were like, whatever you need, my son, whatever you need, my daughter. And they really never lived a life where they had anything at stake or they were never able to deal with the real life pressure of life. Meanwhile, on my end, I was not only not supported by my parents.
You were thrown into the deep end.
I was thrown into the deep end of the pool. There was plenty of water, sharks and whatnot, and they just left me there. And that was my experience. And I think I'm a very
self-sufficient person,
to say the least. And I think it helped me tremendously. And I see how a lot of my friends were a little handicapped by that. But I also know some cases where parents have helped their kids to a point where they really become extremely successful and excelled because the trust that the parents and the way they did it was incredible. What was your experience with you and then people around you? What do you think?
Well, I'll answer, but I'm also curious to know your opinion on me because you know my situation. So we'll get to that afterwards.
Okay.
But I do think it can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But I think of course, every situation is different, but I think having supportive, encouraging parents is unbelievable. And like, not a lot of people get that.
No.
And I'm a perfect example of this. Like, my parents have from day one been my cheerleaders, like always supportive, always let me be, never put pressure on me, never told me I had to be a certain way or do a certain thing by a certain age. If anything, it was reversed. It was like, take your time, do this, do that. Like, I never got pressure to get married or to have kids or to, go to a certain college. And they didn't put that pressure on me. Like, I had to do what they weren't able to do.
Yeah, because that's two different types of pressure, right? That two different types of parenting too. That parents that care for their kids exercise.
Yeah.
And one of them is the one like you, and the other one is no, you should be a fucking doctor. I'm going to tell you what to do.
Correct, because they wanted to pursue maybe a field in medicine and they didn't. So, and even to go, like, I remember I had friends growing up and their moms were like, they would tell their kids they were fat, or they wouldn't be supportive of them, or they would be like, you're less than this, than that. And I had the opposite. Like, I always had my mom telling me I could be anyone and do anything. Like, the world is my oyster type of thing. So I think there's a balance. And if you can have that support system, it's amazing. But on the flip side, you also shouldn't be coddled and have given zero responsibilities and zero perspective on life and like what can really happen in the real world. So if there can be a balance of that, I think that's the sweet spot, right? Because then you also don't want, a situation like you said, where you didn't feel supported and you kind of had to fend for yourself.
But I don't know if that's bad looking at my life right now.
And every situation is going to be unique.
Like, I'll tell you this, for example, like with me, I was the one told, you're fat, you're this, you don't look like that. If you're good at something, you're going to show me that you're good at any position that you play. Like, everything, I had to be the greatest. And you can tell that's a little bit of what I have inside of me, right? Because I had to be the fucking best so that there was no doubt anywhere that I could do anything.
Yeah.
Then there's no support whatsoever. I even told you, my grandma, God bless her soul, may she rest in peace, told me when I was like 17, I can't remember what I was talking to her about. And she just sat down in bed with me.
Oh, this is my favorite story.
And I'm like, the problem, Grandma, is that you think I'm a fucking moron. And she looked at me and she put her beautiful hand on my shoulder.
She embraced you.
She looked at me in the eye and said, because you are a moron, Alejandro. You are a moron. And I just started laughing, by the way. Laughing so hard. But that's my upbringing. I never had to tell anybody. I never had to convince anyone, can I move to the US? Because there was no one I had to answer to.
Yeah.
At the same time, when I was a kid, I really was jealous of all my friends that had their parents show up to the games and anything that we did. That was cool. But now I see my friends and I do believe they're a little bit handicapped. That they were handicapped a little bit from the support. I feel like, and this is a fine line because I don't understand what the right answer is. I always lived this life where you go out, you do whatever you want. And we were always in the subway in Mexico, like going to markets, dangerous places that right now I would never dare to fucking go.
Well, you're also now an adult and we have responsibilities.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, like, it's just like, go here, go there.
Well, when we're kids, we're fearless.
Yes, but as an adult that was taking care of me in Mexico, for me to be able to have all the freedom that I had, which was not an intentional freedom, to a lot of people, they look at it bad. Like, all of my friends' parents were like, do not hang out with Alejandro. Do not. That dude is a fucking piece of shit. He's a scumbag. He's the worst. Do not hang out with him. And all it was because I could do anything I wanted. And when my friends would go home and be like, Mom, can I go here? And they're like, no. They're like, why not? Alejandro can do that. It's like, yeah, but Alejandro can do that because no one cares.
You were the bad friend.
Because no one cares about Alejandro. You know what I mean? But I was never the bad friend. I never did anything bad. I was just like free.
Yeah.
So.
But for a lot of parents, that's scary.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because I had a friend in Spain like that. Her name was Laura.
Yeah. And you never know because they can turn out to be motherfuckers or it can turn out to be great. But in my experience, all of us that were independently left alone were better off as adults than everybody that was like, oh, let me take care of you. Let me take care of you. I really feel like there's a disconnect in between. It's not a disconnect. there's the love from your parents and how much they want to take care of you, and then they have like their own school of thought of how they're going to do it. But there's got to be a way of teaching how to be independent and resourceful to kids without them feeling like they're on their own.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'll ask you this question like right now. If you divorced me, let's say that you left me and you were like, fuck this, and you had nothing, what would happen to you? Let's say they took away all of your money and whatnot. What would happen to you right now?
I mean, my parents would.
You have a blanket.
I have a blanket. I have a safety net. My parents would help me.
If that happened to me, I'll just be on the street. I'll see you there.
I mean, you have friends.
No.
Okay.
All of my friends have turned out like, and I love them all. I love them all. And I'll never ask them for this. But every single time I've asked one of my friends for a favor, I get thrown like outside of the circle. So if I ever become homeless, I'll never ask my friends to go to their house. I can still be friends with them and hang out with them when I'm not homeless.
No, I have, for sure, I have a safety net, and I have, but I have family, and that's what family is for in my situation.
Yeah, I understand. And then you were asking me, so how do I look at it, right? And this is no disrespect whatsoever, but what the way I look at it is, who's softer, you or me?
Me.
Who's more anxious, you or me?
Me.
But you have a security blanket right behind you if anything goes wrong, which makes no sense that you could be anxious.
By the way, why do you think it's just financial?
Hang on. In my world, in my view, you have a security blanket of support, love, and financial. Whereas I don't have that. So I don't fully understand. You see what I'm saying? There hasn't been the way I look at it is kind of like the stock market. Let's pretend that there's a line right here that goes at 0, right? And then you go up and down in life, right? You have ups and you have downs. You have ups and then you have downs. And you go way above that line and way below that line. If you never really go below the line of 0 to the bad, to the really bad, then your emotion range is so short. Your reality perspective wave is so short. Because you've never been exposed to the other end of the spectrum. You've never really, really known what's pain. You've really never known what's to be homeless. You really have never known what it's like not to be able to call anybody to get you out of anything, right? Would you say that?
Correct.
And I feel, and this is where it gets really complicated in general, because, and obviously this is just my thought. How can you make a person that you love feel that way, but still tell them, I'm there for you? Because I do feel like those things, living life in the full spectrum, all the way up to all the way down, gives you the most tools, the most peace, the most tranquility when living. Because you understand, me missing a flight is nothing. Because you understand, me not having money today is nothing. Because you start understanding that those things, they give you perspective, a huge perspective. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw a kid, and I told you this story before. One of the first times I went to Mexico when I started my Salamundo channel, I was walking down Main Street in Mexico with my friends at night, and this one kid like saw me, and he came running, and he started crying, and he hugged me. And he said, I'm so glad that I'm seeing you. I can't believe I'm seeing you right now. You're the only reason why I'm still alive. I lost everything. He told me like the story, like quickly, like, were you with me? And he was like, I lost everything. And I'm like, okay, so where are you now? What's going on? She's like, well, now I'm staying at my friends and I have this, but you know, I fell down to the bottom. And I told him, dude, that's an awesome thing to have. You touch bottom. You know what that feels. Did it kill you? No. Were you able to get out of it and go somewhere else? Yeah. I'm like, well, what everyone is afraid in life is to get to where you got. Once you got there and you realize it's not that bad, the world is yours. But how can you get to that place as a person that's supported? You know what I mean? Because I do feel like people that have experienced that are way stronger, more balanced in many different phases in their being, whether it's emotional, whether it's temperamental, whether it like any layer you want to add. I feel like getting those huge waves of life, those huge ups and downs, really build you up. What do you think? Or what do you think from seeing me, for example? You're seeing the opposite.
No, I agree. I agree. I think it gives you more of an edge on the person who maybe has been comfortable their whole life. Example, me. But I also feel like and I don't know if I'm going to word this right, but I also feel like I shouldn't be looked down on or punished because I've lived a very comfortable, safe life. And I don't want to hit that scary bottom. I'm not interested in hitting that bottom.
But you will one day. You know that, right? You will. That's life.
Maybe.
And I can give you many horrible examples that will cause it in a second.
I know what you're going to say. I'm just saying like I don't look at it. Of course, I'm going to have struggles and ups and downs, but I'm not like looking at it like I need to be homeless to like have perspective.
No one's saying that.
So I also look at it. I just told you this the other day. I was like, I'm so lucky that I have such supportive parents. Like
100%.
So many of my friends don't. Even if I'm just bouncing an idea off my dad, like even if it's a fucking ridiculous idea, he'll give me his point of view, but he'll still be like, that's good that you thought of this, but that doesn't make sense X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. I'm super lucky that I have that. Because so many people that I know don't. Even in high school, like I had like my parents always came to everything I did, and I have so many parents who's their parents were maybe not in a good mental place, struggling, whatever. So I know my situation is extremely unique and I'm so humbled by it every day. I mean, I tell you all the time. So I don't think there's a right answer. Like you said, I think there is a fine line. And I don't think tough love is the right answer. But
no one's saying tough love. This is what I'm saying. I don't think there's a right way of I've never seen anybody doing it right to the point where I'm saying where they push you to be independent, where they let you fall, but at the same time they're there, because those two concepts are completely different.
Yeah, and
right?
And like you just said, what do you think of me? That's where you and I are so opposite. And I am much softer. I'm much more emotional because you had to grow up. You had to get that edge.
It takes destroying the world to get to me.
Yeah.
It gets to like that.
But it goes back to, it's like opposites attract, right? So
no, of course.
It's like that's the balance between you and I.
That's right, sweetie. That is the right balance between you and I. Is there anything else you want to add to all the sweeties in these chats?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I guess for sure the next time we record is not going to be in this room.
That's right. And the next question I have is, are you guys going to wake me up tonight with your bullshit?
Wow.
No? Okay.
Just for saying that,
everybody,
yes.
We're going to kill you right
everybody,
now.
Thank you so much for joining us in Chats with Sweetie. My wife, Belen, is right here with me. Sergio on the keyboards. I'm Alejandro, and I'm going to run before I fucking get murdered. See you guys later.
Bye.